Polkadot does not look good over the next few days, and we're going to talk about that right now. I'm going to start with the daily chart for DOT, and we can see right now we've been in a pretty big, not a big range, but a range for several days in this very critical area from about 7.3 to 7.6. Obviously, soon we're going to break out of this range. Which direction will we go? That's what we're going to talk about right now. To start with, I'm going to go to one of my favorite tools, that is tradingview.com. We're going to look at the technical analysis for DOT just to take a temperature of the market, nothing more. Just kind of want to see what the overall gauge of the market looks like for DOT. On the 1 day, they're showing a neutral summary. Oscillators are neutral with moving averages a sell. On the 1 week, we have a buy. Oscillators are neutral, moving averages a buy. And on the 1 month, we have a neutral, oscillators a sell, moving averages a buy. You may have noticed that there was no distinct direction in any of those kind of conflicting signals, if you will. And that's just because we have conflicting price action right now. After this fantastic run up, and let me start by saying this, everything I'm talking about here in the next in this video is for the next few days / next few weeks. Crypto is looking amazing right now long term. DOT is looking amazing right now long term. So I have no concerns for crypto. I'm expecting a great year in 2024. This is really just talking about the next few days / weeks and trying to figure out if we can figure out what might happen there. After this fantastic run up from 3.5 roughly all the way up to almost 10 around Christmas Day in December, crypto across the board, minus a few big coins that keep moving, crypto across the board has been giving up some of its gains. That's really 100% healthy and expected. There is no fear here at all. It's interesting I draw that line there. I did just now draw a Fibonacci indicator from the swing low here to the swing high up here. It's very interesting that this .618 line, which I like to use to determine if a trend has changed or not, is right where price is right now. And it's also the bottom of that 7.3 level that I've identified as being kind of critical in the short term. And the reason it's critical, this rectangular colored right here from 7.3 to 7.6, is just because the market, every time it gets there, reacts in some way. At first, it was pushed down, then it broke through this level. It acted as support here. It broke through, market broke through this level, came back up on this day, and then was pushed back down. Basically, we're ranging on either side of this level from 7.3 to 7.6. Let me just see. Let me go back. It's got some criticality. If I were to draw this triangle rectangle all the way back here, you can see these are still very important levels. I'll pop it right there at about 7.3. It was the high of this swing in November 2022. It was almost the high of February 23. So this is a critical level. And again, it matches perfectly with the .618 level from the swing high to the swing low, or swing low to the swing high. Right now, DOT. Well, we've already talked about the range, okay? Which way is it going to fall? If I had to say, and looking at what other people are saying about crypto, those that are smarter than me, obviously, I think it's all going to be based on Bitcoin right now. And Bitcoin has its own patterns that it is creating right here. Bitcoin has been in this slight run up since December with higher highs and higher lows. This was the post ETF euphoria, if you will, not really euphoria, but a top of about 49,000. And people were saying here toward the end of December that they expected us to run up to 48 to 50,000, but that there would be some extreme sell pressure, and they expected a retracement or correction, whatever you want to call it, as Bitcoin based before it tried to make higher highs after the halving coming up in April. And that seems like a perfectly wonderful scenario, or at least perfectly legitimate. Maybe not wonderful, because that's going to cause us to fall in value in crypto, but it does seem completely legitimate to me. And right now it's playing out. Right now we are wrestling in Bitcoin with the bottom of this channel here, broke below it, went above it. Yesterday was a good green day, and today we're breaking back down. it is not going to surprise me for us to break out of this channel and tag 40,000 in Bitcoin. It may do this. Not that. That would not work. Where was my line? It may do this. This is what I'm trying to say. Up, right? And then down. But this level right here, this 44.5 to 45 level is very critical. As long as we cannot get up to this 45 level, I'm thinking we're going to hit prices down to 40 and then maybe even further down, which again is not a bad thing. Let's zoom out here. I mean, we've had a fantastic run in Bitcoin since, goodness, the first of the year. I mean, you could even say back in March of 2023. I mean, look at that. It had its low back in January of 23. So a year ago, we were at 17. Now we're at 42. That's not quite 3. That's about 2.5 times. So for something as big as Bitcoin to go up 2.5 times in a year is fantastic. Even if we were to come down to this 38, 35 level, somewhere around that, which some people are calling for us to fall back down here before continuing on for all-time highs. Even if we were to do that, you're still double what you were a year ago. So that's just, and it seems to me like a legitimate scenario to play out, is us to fall out, tag 40,000, and then of course we'll have to see what happens then. Long term, I think all-time highs are coming in Bitcoin. And for Polkadot, obviously, if Bitcoin falls and hits that 40,000, I believe we're going to give up this 7.3 to 7.6 range, and we'll start ranging down into this area right here. If I had to say, I would say that's what's going to happen in the next few days. Let me provide a little bit more evidence. There's a downtrend there we're seeing. I'm going to get rid of this Fibonacci line. It just starts showing too many lines. It gets confusing. We've got a downtrend here, lower highs. We're seeing that across many coins. VET is one. Downtrend. Doge, did it have a downtrend? Clearly a downtrend. What was another one I was looking at? ICP? Downtrend. Matic. Downtrend. So a lot of these coins are playing out with this downtrend that looks like it's just downward pressure, and Polkadot also has that. So my guess is we might even come up and hit this line here, but eventually we're going to find ourselves in this range in the next few days, could even be today to next few weeks. Now, I could be 100% wrong. If I am, this could hold. We could pop out of the top of this trend line right here and continue on up. But if I had to guess, I would say we're going to hit 7 before we start aiming for new highs again. And we may even fall lower than that before we start aiming new highs. Again, all constructive activity. There's nothing wrong with us falling down into this range. We've been in it back in December. We've been in it back at the early part of January. It would not hurt us to fall there again, rebase, and then take off for newer highs. That's what I think is going to happen in DOT. Be sure to stay updated with me. I'll keep you updated on the latest price movements, and we'll watch this price action together. All right, y'all take care.